Yeah, I apologize. I didn't even get home until really, really late last night with my brother because, yeah, it took a hell of a long time to get out of the parking lot. We were at the Santa Fe Rodeo, the first night of the Santa Fe Rodeo last night. Um, yeah, yeah, it was actually pretty damn good though. Really damn good. Um, I got my first black cowboy hat, and I got some nachos and some Chick-fil-A. Brother and I had some lemonades, and I don't know, like I think brother had like some like sausage wrap sandwich thing. I don't know what exactly it is, but yeah, last night the Santa Fe Rodeo. It was actually pretty damn good. Yes, pretty damn good. Um, Lots of foxy chicks there. Lots of foxy looking chicks right there. The moms and their daughters and kids of all ages from, anywhere from like elementary all the way up to the high school. Yeah, make no mistake there. And some of them were people that were out of state. There were people like that went there that were from out of state, like Arizona, Colorado, Texas, and also all the entertainers at the Santa Fe Rodeo last night. Some are actually from like all around the United States, and there was a bunch of different acts. Yeah, lots of different acts. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, it was pretty damn good. Um, we tried to go into Black Mesa gas station on the way up, but their pumps were down. So then we went on the way back, and their pumps were working. So you know, sometimes you have to go. Sometimes second tries are better than first tries. I guess I don't know. It's like whatever. But then it's like okay, yeah. So we got home very late. Didn't even go to. I didn't even go to bed till relatively late, like I normally would do. And then we both smell. So again, because we're around livestock and stuff, we had to take showers. And then fell asleep, slept in, then gave brother enough time to eat breakfast, and then well, he ate breakfast or something. I don't. I never eat breakfast. Yeah, I have. I. But I'm a firm believer where I don't eat breakfast unless like I'm doing something like actually interested in. Then I do. But anyway, but that's enough about that. But yeah, and then I played some video on my computer last night to fall asleep with, and then I woke up, looked at my phone. My mom tried calling me twice, and then I didn't answer her because obviously I was sleeping. I was exhausted last night. And so then when I woke up, rolled out of the bed, throw my pants on one leg at a time, throw my shirt on one arm at a time, and then I went down and helped Barbara clean out my sister's car. And oh yeah, it was definitely a mess. It was like 6 months of trash and food and cups and paper and all sorts of trash out there in her car. Yeah. But then after we did that, now we're just trying to stay inside, chill on the chair for a little bit, and Brother's doing what Brother does, and I'm doing what I do, and then later I guess we're going out and up to the comic book store, and we're gonna see if we can find some finds. And then, depending on if we find those finds, then that'd be all well and good. But if we don't find the finds, then again we might come up with some other finds. I don't know. That's normally the thing about comic book stores. Like if you don't have a plan and you go to a comic book store without a plan, you just come out with just whatever you felt was cool. And at the end of the day, it's like, oh yeah, you came out with something. At least at the end of the day, you came out and you purchased something. And it's like, yeah, I'm at the comic store. It's like I purchased something to prove that I went there. To flex off to your friends, be like, yeah, I was there. But sometimes that's the case with some fans, and other times it's not. But again, um, I don't know. And then, oh yeah, tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow is tomorrow Friday or is today Friday? Crap. I forgot what my day of the week was. God damn. But anyway, the weekend is coming back. Yes, the weekend is finally coming back. So that means one thing. Well, obviously, on Sundays I go over to the other side of Albuquerque to go with my friends to go to church. And sometimes, depending on if they have an event afterwards, I hang out for the event afterwards. And then brother or sister, if they're there, then they just kind of hang out in the parking lot and wait for me to finish, which will kind of be the same case again this weekend. Then again, I told you next week's going to be really crazy because next week is going to be when Marvel pushes out their new series. I'm not super thrilled about it, and I don't think you guys are either because, again, it's just one of those, feminist attempts like, oh, I'm going to slip a female in to play for Robert Downey, even though Robert Downey's now came back from the dead and now they have to tell his story as Doctor Doom. It's like, okay, sure, okay, whatever. But I'm pretty sure there's going to be some cameo or flashback or something of him or something. I don't fucking care though. But honestly, that's Marvel. That's Marvel for you. So again, I don't know. But at the end of the day, sometimes the quality is there, and other times the quality not there. But I think in this case, I think the quality just won't be there because obviously, like, oh yeah, now like before, like earlier in the year, I've had my doubts many times about the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, by Marvel Animation. I was like, yeah, I don't think that's right, but then it ended up being actually pretty damn good. And then same thing with Daredevil Born Again. It's like, oh yeah, that also got ended and wrapped. It's like, yeah, that was good. And then movie wise, you had Captain America: The Brave New World, which was basically just a one-off for Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford's too old now, so this is just a one-off performance. Then after that, you had Thunderbolts, and then in Thunderbolts, obviously, I told you how much I love Thunderbolts. Like oftentimes, me and my brother would sometimes joke and kid about Thunderbolts and be like, "We are the Thunderbolts," and I don't know, it's like it's so memorable. Like the Thunderbolts are just memorable. That's all I'm just saying. They're just very memorable. And then next on the universe, there is there is Fantastic Four in the First Steps. Supposedly, there's going to be a lot of villains. A lot of villains. Yeah, it's going to even have. You know that old monster that was on the street that you saw in the first book of Fantastic Four. That big giant green monster that was on the street that you see oftentimes on the intro of the '90s theme song, and then also the cover of the very first Fantastic Four, the world's greatest comic magazine, as it used to have been dubbed, and again Marvel's first family, because again that's also what they're dubbed, Marvel's first family, um, the world's greatest comic magazine. Well, I don't know if that's still applied. That's today, but back then in the '60s and '70s, it definitely was the thrill. But again, I just found out what that monster's name was. That monster that was on the street where you had the famous cover of the Fantastic Four trying to battle that green monster on the street. His name is Giganto. His name's Giganto. And there's going to also be a Silver Surfer that's going to be swapped as a female. The reason I did a whole video on that, why they decided, oh, we want Silver Surfer as female because we want to introduce Nora and Rad later after the Avengers movies. So it kind of sets us up. It'd be like, oh yeah, because it's Fantastic Four from a different universe. But because it's Fantastic Four set in another universe, it's gonna be like, oh yeah, but you think it's gonna stay in that universe? Well, then I told my brother it's not staying in that universe. It's gonna come into the mainstream universe. And my brother says, oh, that's lazy. Why would Marvel do that? Oh, well, because, they have to incorporate all the teams to face the big threat in the end of the Avengers. So, I mean, that's the reason they're doing it. I mean, people can argue about it all they want, but that's what Marvel's doing. That's what Disney's doing. That's what Bob Iger's doing. That's what Kevin Feige's doing. I mean, end of the freaking day, it's like, okay, sure. It's like, but that's kind of where they're heading, and that's where they're heading. So yeah, then a lot of people were very actually excited that we're actually going to actually see Galactus and not be just some giant cloud like we saw on 2007. Oh yeah, 2007. Don't even get me started with Fantastic Four from 2007. That was like, oh yeah, they said Galactus was outside orbit of the Earth, but he wasn't there because he was just a cloud. And then now we actually do have a Galactus now. It's like, this is good. This is good. But now people are like, oh, we're glad we have Galactus, but people are complaining because it's like, oh yeah, now it's like, now Silver Surfer again is not the Silver Surfer you remember. It's the Silver Surfer, the original Silver Surfer, but it's a female surfer that we know from the comics. Now, if you read the comics again, there was a female surfer, that was, you know, was one of Galactus's heralds, and then we're gonna have that, and then after that, then some point later down the road, we're going to have a special presentation. Well, Marvel Studios is going to set us up with a special presentation on Disney Plus where they're going to be like, oh yeah, Disney Plus, Marvel Studios. They're going to have a special presentation. Hopefully somewhere in the next 5 years, hopefully we'll see a special presentation by Marvel Studios saying, this is what has happened with Silver Surfer. This is where Silver Surfer has been since the last scene we've seen him. It's like, okay, yeah, that turn, that will tell you what would have happened with Silver Surfer. So it's like, yeah, okay, sure, that. Then when you connect the dots together, it's like, doop, 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 doop. Yeah, then that's where you found your answer at. That's like with most people, like, people on internet saying, oh yeah, if we connect the dot from this, and then we go the dot from there, it's like, oh, where's the answer? Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. But long story short, yeah, I'm pretty excited about Fantastic Four. I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, Fantastic Four looks pretty good. And also, it's kind of cool that, I mean, you finally have Herbie. At least you have Herbie. The robot Herbie. You finally have Herbie. And let me tell you about Herbie, okay? So basically, there was a deleted scene from the 2007 Fantastic Four that was deleted from the movie that had Herbie. But because Marvel back then, like before MCU, was like, I don't think people are ready for Herbie yet. So then now's our time to introduce Herbie. It's like, oh yeah, Herbie, yeah, the robot that at the Baxter Building, the Fantastic Four, the whole thing. So having now the introduction of Herbie, that's gonna be really cool. Um, a lot of people are making speculation and theory and rumor and saying, oh yeah, they're going to introduce Franklin Richards in the sequel someday. It's like, oh yeah, Franklin Richards, right? I mean, you should. I mean, he's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be like one of the strongest mutant kids in the whole universe. I mean, he's got the brilliant mind of his father Reed, and then I mean Reed Richards' son Franklin basically, served a short time on the X-Men for a short time, and it's like, oh, I mean that. I'm just hoping like later down the road, if Marvel actually gets their ducks in a row, maybe we might see the first Franklin Richards. I don't know if we will, but if we did, it would be pretty neat. But I don't know. Like, how is Disney and Marvel gonna find some kid or some child or some boy to act to be Franklin Richards? I don't know. It's just an idea. I mean, it's not been set in stone yet, so we don't know. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, if Fantastic Four First Steps is very good, then wouldn't they someday later like have like Reed Richards and Susan's kids in the Fantastic Four sequel?" Well, I don't know. Depends on how successful this movie is. And depending on how successful this movie is, we might actually see Franklin Richards. We might see Valeria Richards. But we're not going to see them right away because we have to know first if Fantastic Four, the first step, is going to actually be good. And if it's not good, then they're probably not going to ever introduce uh, their kids. So yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, we want to have Reed Richards and Susan and have their kids be in the movie. Well, if you read the comics, it's like, okay, yeah, they've been referenced many times before and stuff. Like in the 2015's Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars, like the Fantastic Four, they serve a very huge piece of the Secret Wars from 2015, rewritten by Jonathan Hickman. It's like, yeah, so now if they're setting their cards right and they're setting their ducks up right, it's like, okay, you'd think like we'd get them later down the road. But unless they do it the right way and they execute it and direct it and create the stories the right way, then maybe we might have that. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But again, until then, we don't know. Until then, we don't know unless like inside scoop or someone on the internet says so or something. So again, that's all, and I'll catch you all around later. But yeah, actually,